What does RC wire gauge mean for power connections? Imagine you're building a fast, powerful RC car or drone. You want everything to run smoothly, right? Well, one key factor that can make or break your setup is the wire gauge you choose for your power connections. In RC toys, wire gauge is all about how thick the wire is. It's measured by the American wire gauge system. The lower the number, the thicker the wire. For example, a 14-gauge wire is thicker than an 18-gauge wire. Thicker wires can carry more current safely without overheating. That means if your motor or battery draws a lot of power, you need a thicker wire to handle it. Using a wire that's too thin can cause overheating, which might damage your components or even cause a fire. Voltage drop is another thing to watch out for. Thinner wires have higher electrical resistance, which means some power gets lost as heat. This results in less power reaching your motor or electronic speed controller. For high-current setups, using a wire with the right gauge helps keep voltage loss to a minimum, so your RC vehicle performs at its best. Weight is also a factor, especially in RC aircraft or drones. Thicker wires are heavier, which can reduce flight time and agility. So, you want to use the thinnest wire that can still safely handle your maximum current load. For example, for battery leads and high-current connections, 14-gauge wire is common. For motor wires and electronic speed controllers, 18 to 20-gauge wires work well. Signal wires and low-power components like servos usually use 24 to 28-gauge wires. When extending wires or replacing them, matching the gauge is important. If you switch to a thinner wire, you risk voltage drops and overheating. If you go thicker, you add unnecessary weight. Always measure the current your components draw and choose the wire gauge accordingly. In soldering, proper technique is essential. Use the right soldering iron temperature and a good quality solder to create strong, low-resistance joints. When connecting wires, strip the right amount of insulation, tin the wire ends, and ensure a solid connection. This keeps your power flow steady and reliable. Understanding wire gauge helps you make smarter choices in your RC projects. It ensures your power connections are safe, efficient, and tailored to your specific setup. Picking the right gauge balances current capacity, voltage stability, and weight, giving your RC vehicle or aircraft the best chance to perform at its peak.